Travis Scott is one of the biggest rappers in the world, but that doesn't mean he knows how to make other artists get the bag. He started his label Cactus Jack Records back in 2017, but instead of leveling up and creating a legit roster, he fumbled the bag and has made nothing but wrong turns. So today, we're breaking down where it all went wrong and why Cactus Jack Records might be done for good. Let's get right into it. In March 2017, Travis broke the news that he was starting his own label. A lot of artists start their own label so they can have complete control over their music and rights without having to shell money to someone else. Travis wasn't thinking about it like that though. In an interview with Numero, he said that his main focus was helping new artists get in the game without major labels taking advantage of them. The rap game is full of people who get new artists to sign terrible deals, and Travis wants to help put an end to it. He said, "I want to do for them what happened to me, but better." By better, I mean no bullshit. The first rapper to sign with Cactus Jack was Smokepurpp, who joined a few months after Travis announced the label. Travis and Smoke had linked up for the track Fingers Blue, and Travis was an executive producer on his album Dead Star. But fans were still surprised that Smokepurpp was the first rapper he signed. Smoke was signed to Alamo Records at the time, and according to rumors, Alamo basically paid Travis and his label to link up with Smoke and give him some shine. Smoke allegedly never even signed a deal with Cactus Jack either. There's no evidence to back the story up, but what happened later added even more fuel to the rumors. In December 2017, Travis and Quavo put the label on the map when they dropped their collab project, Honcho Jack, Jack Honcho, on Cactus Jack Records. And a few months later, Travis signed the hottest rapper in the game at the time, Sheck Wes. Wes was blowing up like crazy after his track Mo Bamba popped off and racked up millions of streams. He signed a joint deal with Cactus Jack, Good Music, and Interscope, which should have been a huge win for all of them. Later in 2018, Travis dropped the album Astroworld with a feature from Don Toliver. Nobody knew who Don Toliver was back then, but rumors were flying that he was going to be the newest artist on Cactus Jack Records. It didn't take long for Travis to confirm the rumors. A couple weeks after the album dropped, Don Toliver was officially on the label. In October 2018, Sheck Wes dropped his debut album on the label, which sold pretty well and reached number 17 on the Billboard 200 chart. But by the time the first Cactus Jack collab project released in November 2019, Wes had already fallen off hard. Instead of riding the Mo Bamba wave, Sheck took his foot off the gas and only dropped a few tracks in 2019. Plus, he was accused by 2 exes of physical abuse and stalking, which definitely didn't help his numbers. When Travis and the rest of the crew dropped Jack Boys in December 2019, fans were surprised that Smokepurpp wasn't anywhere on the project. It had been 2 years since he allegedly signed with Cactus Jack, but he still didn't have any releases under the label. A fan on IG asked Smoke, "You got dropped from Cactus Jack?" And Smoke told him, "Nah, I went to Interscope/Alamo." There's obviously more going on behind the scenes though. Smokepurpp was already signed with Interscope and Alamo before he allegedly made the deal with Cactus Jack, so it's not like he left Travis's label to go with them instead. It's not clear exactly how it all went down, but for some reason, the situation with Smokepurpp and Cactus Jack didn't work out at all. Smokepurpp wasn't able to put on for the label, but Don Toliver turned out to be a great investment. His first album hit number 7 on the Billboard 200, with tracks like No Idea and After Party racking up over 500 million streams just on Spotify. In 2021, it seemed like Travis made another great move when he signed SoFaygo to the label. SoFaygo is popping off on TikTok with the track Knock Knock, and linking up with Travis should have been a huge win. But instead of using the momentum he built up off of Knock Knock, SoFaygo fumbled the bag and waited almost 2 years to drop a project. Through 2021 and 2022, SoFaygo kept telling his fans that the project was coming soon. He would show previews of tracks sometimes on IG Live, but by the time his album dropped in November 2022, almost everyone had already moved on. SoFaygo's album didn't even hit the Billboard 200 chart, which is straight up embarrassing for an artist who has a track with over 200 million streams on Spotify. He got clowned online like crazy for the weak sales, and SoFaygo clapped back and said he doesn't need to run up huge numbers because he has a loyal fan base. Cactus Jack took an L with SoFaygo's record, but luckily for them, Don Toliver was still putting on for the label. He dropped a video for the track Do It Right, which racked up millions of views on YouTube just a few hours after it was released. It seemed like he was bigger than anyone even knew, but then reports came out that he might be paying for views. Don Toliver is signed to Cactus Jack, but his distribution is handled by Atlantic Records. Atlantic has been accused of running up artist numbers with bots before, and even Bobby Shmurda talked about it when he was going off on NBA YoungBoy. Shmurda said, "Atlantic's bots is crazy. 1,000 bots is something like $2,000. They got packages." According to him, you can get 1 million views for just 4K, and apparently that's what Atlantic has been doing for their artists. The views on Don Toliver's new video were sketchy, but the comments were even more obvious. When the track dropped, thousands of bot comments started popping up, and a lot of them didn't even make sense. New accounts with no other comments were posting things like, "Such notification, many playfulness, so fantastic," and "Awesome, have considered masterclass." DJ Academics hopped in to air Atlantic out too. He tweeted, "Atlantic Records went from being hella lit a few years ago to being shit. They just buying wild amounts of fake views." Don Toliver's reps in Atlantic have both denied using bots, but the whole situation is sketchy all around. Another weird story about Cactus Jack Records went down last year when Malu Travail signed a deal and left a few weeks later. Malu blew up on TikTok before hopping in the booth, and in October 2021, she announced that she had signed a deal with Cactus Jack and Atlantic Records. But after Malu posted about it, Travis Scott's manager, David Stromberg, said it was all cap. People online started clowning her for lying about a record deal, but Malu clapped back and proved that the deal was real. Her single Complicado had credits with Atlantic and Cactus Jack, but nobody knows why Travis's manager lied about it. Then, the situation took another weird turn when Malu let her fans know she was leaving Cactus Jack just 3 weeks later. She claimed that there were no issues with Travis and said, "I had a 2-hour conversation with him, crying and hugging him. It was good until it lasts. Still mad love for you." But the drama didn't end there. A couple of weeks later, Malu hopped on IG and threatened to expose Travis if he didn't release her from the contract with Cactus Jack. She also wrote, "Like, why trying to hold me when you denied everything? Let me go." It's not clear what's going on behind the scenes, but Malu was released from her contract, and her last 2 singles only have credits from Atlantic Records. Cactus Jack Records went from having 3 of the hottest new artists in the game to getting clowned online for how they're falling off. And another reason why the label's falling off is because of what's been going on with Travis Scott. In November 2021, Travis was performing at his Astroworld Festival in Houston when a crowd crush tragically killed 10 people and injured hundreds. The audience tried to get Travis to stop the show after people started getting hurt, but he told them to get wild while an ambulance drove through pulling out people from the crowd. One of the victims was only 9 years old and died while Travis ignored the crowd's screams for help. After the tragedy, stories started coming out about how Travis had put fans in danger before. In 2015, he pleaded guilty to reckless endangerment after he told the crowd to climb barricades. At another show the same year, he told his fans to beat up a dude in the audience who stole his shoe. And in 2017, a fan was paralyzed during his set because of another crowd rush. Travis has settled a couple of lawsuits over the tragedy at Astroworld, but is still facing a lot more. Before it happened, he was still one of the biggest names in the industry, but it's not clear if his fans will still show up when his 4th album finally drops. When Travis first announced Cactus Jack Records in 2017, it looked like he was going to level up and take over the business side of the rap game too. He got off to a pretty good start, but now it's barely even a label, and Travis' solo career will probably never hit the same highs after what happened at Astroworld.